Hey, welcome back.
Guys, welcome back to our Guys, where we consider a one-man fighter as a threat. I am Ace, and I was once the master.
Hi, I am Gabe. Now I am the master. Now this is the 10th episode of Star
We are up
Wars
to 10,
Talks.
10
A New
episodes.
Hope.
Wow,
10.
10 episodes.
That is right. 10 episodes.
Which means,
Um,
which
yeah.
means that there are 9 episodes before this one. Don't forget to check those out, guys. Here on YouTube, we also have other videos like our Star Wars shorts and our reaction videos. So check those out.
Plus, by this time, our first breakdown for the first episode, first breakdown episode for Andor, episode 1,
Yes.
will be out. So check that out, guys. Anyways, um,
Where can they reach us?
they can
Where else
reach
can
us
they see
in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon Music. If they would prefer to watch us, they could tune into our YouTube channel at Super Archives. So, guys, please subscribe. And yeah, so we are going to our regular segment on this day in Star Wars. All right, so on this day in Star Wars, in October 3, today's October 3, 2014, the Star Wars Rebels premieres with the movie Spark of the Rebellion on Disney Channel. Not Disney Plus, Disney Channel. Because there's no such thing as Disney Plus at that time.
Not yet.
Yet. All right, and on October 3, 2008, the Clone Wars TV series premiere on Cartoon Network. Still on Cartoon Network. All right, and then in 2017, the Star Wars anthology of 40 short stories entitled From a Certain Point of View is published, and its audiobook is also released the same day. So, what do you
Amazing.
think? I have been listening to the audiobook of this from a certain point of view. It has a lot of content, and it is canon. So that's
nice.
hence why I knew the cantina was Shalman's cantina. It was only mentioned in that book. And yeah, and many other facts. You could catch that. You could visit your local bookstore, try to find it, or purchase an audiobook in Amazon. Yeah,
I love
Anyways.
audiobooks. I think I'd rather
Yep.
get the audiobook. I'll think about it.
Yep.
I'll more likely get the audiobook.
That is true. Anyways, that's pretty much it for On This Day in Star Wars. Can you give us a recap on what happened last episode?
Yeah, so last episode we talked about mainly our adventuring party going back, trying to find their way back to the Falcon.
That's
and of
true.
course we talked about the first sword fight of the movie, which is Obi-Wan
Damn,
versus
that was a
Darth
good
Vader.
sword fight.
That was a good sword fight. It still is, considering their age. But we talked about that, and of course we talked about the the first actual space battle, I guess. Where TIE fighters were attacking the Millennium
Yeah,
Falcon.
true.
and how
That was actually
they were
the first.
finally- Yeah, it was the first one where they were both shooting at each other and not just like one fighter shooting at one ship. So
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's an actual fight. It's an actual space fight. It's an actual space fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was
what do we got today?
Well, that
Let's,
was
let's
what
continue
George
from that.
wanted. Yeah, that was what George wanted. Anyway, so our gang, the rebels, Leia, Han, Chewie, Luke, and the droids finally arrive in Yavin 4. All right, so they arrived in Yavin
yes.
4, but before they landed, Han was trying to make sure that Leia was going to give the reward, quote unquote reward, because he owed someone that we didn't know who it was yet. If you watch the unedited one, because clearly he owed Jabba. But yeah, so we see Yavin 4 for the first time. Going from Tatooine, a desert planet, and you see a planet covered in trees, like it's just a forest planet. What do you think? Like, was it like pretty normal for you? Was it like a new? Were you excited for that?
No, not really. I think by this time at the movie, you just start accepting the different scenery. So you were in one planet, then you're in space, and then now you're in another planet, which is quite very different from the first planet you saw. So I think it was just it was a very effective storytelling method to just keep on jumping, and the audience just starts accepting whatever we're seeing. So
That's true. That's true. But I still get excited whenever I see a new planet. In either in the movies, in the Star Wars TV series. Whether it's live action or animated. I'm still excited because it adds lore to the Star Wars universe. You know, though some planets may look the same. Still, it has its own story. Every planet has its own story. It has its own people, culture, and everything, which is good. So, anyways, the first person that we see in Yavin 4 is that guy in the spire, trying to I don't know, measuring or
he's just checking whether the Millennium Falcon is over speeding. Just
yeah, true.
making sure he's speeding it. Nobody Nobody's gonna. Everybody's gonna get a ticket. Whomever you are, don't care about your rank. If you're speeding, you get a ticket.
Yeah. The rebel police is trying to chase you. Anyways, so they land, and then you get a glimpse of the rebel base itself. They try to ride these rebel personnel carriers. It's what it is. That's the name of the technology, or
the golf carts, the rebel
the golf carts. Yeah, the rebel personnel carrier. I have a figure of that as well, including the rebel. I don't know, driver. I guess it's not a pilot because you don't pilot golf carts.
It is a driver.
Yeah, but it was weird. It was weird how he drove it. Like there is no steering wheel. He used his feet to stop or to brake. I don't know, man. And he wasn't sitting at all. It was just like standing there.
But it was technology.
Cool,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a technology from a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago.
Away,
yeah. So, but it adds it adds to the scene. That this universe is different from ours.
That's right.
I think the personal carrier is kind of a good addition to it. Was it in the old unedited version of the movie?
I think so. I think that scene where Luke gets dropped off and then Leia sees the commander. Is it commander for the first time? I think that was in the original. I think.
Oh, I see. All right. So, what do you think about in the edited version? What do you think about the scene wherein they get on the rebel personal carrier, and you see that the base is like a pyramid?
Oh yeah, I was. It's kind of weird because is everybody in Peru now? Like, what's going on? I don't know.
South American pyramids.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was like, again, it was weird, but I guess I had to accept it because they were in a different planet, and they're rebels. They have to make do with whatever accommodations they can get.
Yeah, true.
So
True.
they're not in control of their resources are tight supposedly, and then
Kind of always on the
this
run.
is where they end up. This is where they set up their base, and unfortunately for them, the Millennium Falcon was being tracked, so they're gonna get into some action right away.
Yeah, so talking about that scene, so we kind of go back to the Death Star, and that's one thing about the Death Star, right? So if the Death Star was in the system of Alderaan when they first arrived, how does the Death Star move? And
Yeah,
how does it go into hyperspace? There is no engine.
it catches up pretty quick, or they were there in Yavin for like 3 months, and we just did a time skipper.
That was weird. Yeah, but that was weird, right? Because I just don't know how the technology worked for the Death Star and how it moved, how it goes. It actually goes to hyperspace. I can confirm.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Well, I guess hyperspace coordinates for it would be limited because of its size. So it can't just go travel hyperspace and then be at the exact point where it wants to be. So it has to come out of hyperspace somewhere and then travel on normal speed or Death Star speed to, to where it wants. That's why it can't just go up to the base. So they had to pull up, behind Yavin, and then Yavin in between them and the rebel base. So I guess
true.
That's what it is.
I mean, it was kind of strategic for them to place the base, because do you know how hyperlanes work? Because hyperlanes work like this is the planet, all right. So this is the planet. So you can only enter from this side and you exit from the other side. That's like a hyperlane.
It's a one way. It's a one way thing.
It's a one way thing. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So like, you know how a blockade, right? So for the Star Wars movies, they introduce blockades, and people, navies from other like organizations like the Trade Federation try to blockade a certain planet, and you would always wonder, you could just go around it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Or like just hyperspace behind it.
It's space. There's so much space around space.
Yeah, but then again, the hyperlanes work that way, wherein you kind of blockade where people try to exit and enter, so that they cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that's how it works, and that's how you need a hyperdrive computer to compute where you need to go and where to go safely. Because if you don't, then you'll try to. The horrors of hyperspace travel is, you might crash into a star or like a comet, or another ship,
Yeah.
But then again, technology in Star Wars is weird. So we also see the X-wing and the Y-wing for the first time, like docked, in the what do you call it? The hangar bay.
Hangar, yeah.
What do you think about the ships? Was it like weird for you to see it? I mean, it is the first appearance of those ships.
So I've seen a Y-wing before I watched the movie.
Oh, really?
I watched episode 4, I think around 86 or 87, and my cousin, who's a big Star Wars fan back in the 70s, he had a collection of toys already, and he lent me his small Y-wing toy.
How small?
I would put the blaster. It was about this big with the boosters, and then the boosters you could take off. And what I did was I would take off the boosters and then switch them on forward way, and then act like it was like guns, because I didn't know that it was a Y-wing. And then when I saw it in the movie, I was like, "Oh, that's how it's supposed to look like." And of course, X-wings were always iconic. Like, it's like the stallion. It's like the red race car of the lead character, the X-wing. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about X-wings and Y-wings versus the TIE fighters that the Empire have, they have hyperdrive. They could actually go to hyperspace, while their counterpart, the TIE fighters, has the speed but doesn't have the hyperdrive. So they need
range.
They're for short range, and they have what they call a carrier, an Imperial cruiser carrier, whatnot. It shows in other series. Yeah, but like for like small squadrons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can't just go for a patrol. You're gonna use an Imperial Star Destroyer. That's gonna cost a lot, man. Anyways, we're gonna go to the Rebel briefing. All right, wherein Princess Leia actually extracts the disc from R2D2 and gives it to General Dodonna. And if you didn't know, General Dodonna is the bearded man in the scene, wherein fun fact about General Dodonna, he served in the Republic Navy during the Clone Wars, and then eventually in the transition to the Empire, he also served in the Imperial Navy. He was a defector, So he was a defector. He
Yeah.
actually defected to the Rebel Alliance, seeing how the Empire actually would try to um, set the order and for the galaxy to maintain the peace. You know, he saw that horrific plan and he jumped ship. Anyways, so we get
Good
to
for
that
him.
room. Yeah, good for him. He
Yeah.
was able to jump off the ship before everything went down. Anyways, what do you think about the presentation about the disc? I'm kind of disappointed with it because it was kind of
Why? Why were you
it was
disappointed?
kind of low tech, the contents of the disc. For it to be
Okay,
that
okay.
protected, for it to be that analyzed, for it to be that important, it's the Death Star's plan. It's the specs, and you show me dots. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the
Oh, okay.
technology that they were in at that time, 1977. But like, I was kind of hoping more structured part of the Death Star, and then maybe they
I
would
don't
take
think
hours for it to.
I don't think the technology for the Iron Man Tony Stark blow up, zoom
Oh,
in,
no,
zoom
I'm not
out
looking about
technology
that.
was there. Or no, but no, I was fine with it. I think it made it clear. I think they made it clear in the movie that they weren't sure what they were getting. They're not sure what this information is, and they were actually praying that, okay, even if we got this information to the right people, we're also still not sure if there's gonna be a weakness that we can exploit. So that was a big hope from the start of the movie. Just getting the information in that R2
That's true.
unit to the right people. They finally did it, and they're still not sure whether it's gonna be useful information. So
That's true.
I guess you could look at it that way. That it's just like a crude, like basic plan of the Death Star. Oh wait, what is that? I think we can get that, and that's
Yeah,
what
true.
they're briefing. That's what we're discussing in the briefing now, right?
Yeah, true. So, anyways, I like how General Dodonna discusses the plan, right? Like the Empire does not. That's how the Empire perceived its enemies. It does not perceive a single manned fighter to attack it. To attack this
right.
big ass battle station. So the rebels exploited that weakness, and they sent in their squadrons. They plan to send their squadrons, and then I like the plan how everyone was talking about that's impossible. Like when he mentions that the exhaust port is like 2 meters wide and only a direct hit will cause a chain reaction. So
and they had to use photon torpedoes, and they couldn't use any other.
because it's ray shielded. So I like it when Luke brags about shooting womp rats with his. Oh, it's not hard. It's not impossible. I used to shoot womp rats with my T16 back home, and like I don't know what the other guy's reaction.
2 meters.
I don't know what the other guy's reaction is, but like, dude, I'm a rebel pilot.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and you're dressed like a farm boy, man. What are you talking about?
We don't have womp rats where we come from.
That's true. It's like Luke being insensitive with regards to other people's like culture and background. Like we never seen any womp rats. What are you talking about, man?
That's easy. I shoot womp rats back home. Yeehaw!
Oh, like a hillbilly Luke. But yeah, it was kind of good. But all right, so that ends the discussion between that, and then we see Han.
Basic orientation's now done.
Oh, yeah. Wait, sorry, I forgot to mention this. You see how General Dodonna says the princess Leia instead of Leia.
Oh yeah. He says the information brought by
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia. Yeah,
Princess
that's
Leia.
right.
Yeah, so I guess up until now it's either Leia or Leah. So it's socially
I like
acceptable.
the way he says it. I like the way he says like quote unquote mispronounces. It doesn't actually mispronounce, but he says it in a different way. I like it because it's like one of those uncles who keeps mispronouncing names. So I like
Yeah,
it.
true. But we do
Yeah.
know the actual pronunciation. It's Leia,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's how
That's right.
Padme said it. That's the mother. We can't argue with the
Yeah.
mother.
It's mom.
Anyways,
That's the actual name,
that's the
guys.
mom. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
actual name, guys. I mean, if you say Leah just, because you want to, it's fine. But you know
It's
how
fine.
your name, if your name gets mispronounced, you're kind of like irritated about it. So if you're irritated, just say Leia. Stop saying Leah.
That's fine. It's fine. Don't waste your
Anyways,
time telling people how to pronounce your names.
yeah, true. Anyways, so Han's departure, or Han, or Han, again with the pronunciation. Um, Han. So Han's departure, um, it was kind of like, was it Luke being trying to maybe Luke was hoping that Han, after all the things that they've been through, like the tension level, the dogfight in space,
Yeah, exactly.
he thought that Han would change his mind, but he didn't, unfortunately. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that it's as if Luke was trying, like, has been trying to earn Han Solo's respect ever since
That's
the
true.
cantina, and he finally got it in the dogfight where Han says, "Great kid, don't get cocky." We mentioned that in the last
That's
episode,
true.
and now he's just gonna get up and leave. Like, there's gonna be, we're going up against the Death Star right now, and you're just gonna get out of here. But like, that's from Luke's perspective.
Yeah,
I
it was a
get
big
why.
day for the rebellion as well.
I mean, if putting yourself in Han's shoes, though, like, he's been
Yeah.
on the run for a long time, and he
That's
owes a
true.
lot of money, and he has the money right there. Is he gonna go fight against the Death Star, which he just escaped from? He got the money. Like, so
Yeah, I
I
mean,
understand where he's coming from. I understand why. Like, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, I could use you as another smuggler. I need another hand. So you can join
That's
if you
true.
want. So it's the opposite spectrum of the conflict now, where there's a personal agenda, and then there's like the grand, big picture conflict that Luke wants to be a part of. So yeah.
Yeah, about that conversation as well. Yeah, I kind of agree. Han has his different path. He has been for quite some time a smuggler. He's not a fighter. He's not a rebel fighter. He's not a freedom fighter. But yeah, so he says this a line where he calls Luke, and then Luke like looks at him and says, "May the force be with you." And with the facial expression, for me at least, I think he was like trying not to laugh while he was saying that line. So, like, just for food for thought, like, was he mocking Luke when he said that, or
No,
did he
I don't
actually
think so.
mean it?
No, I mean, the way I saw it was, I think he was smiling to get like a good reaction from Luke, because he upset Luke. Because
Yeah, true.
Luke just storms off after saying, "I guess it's what you're best at."
That's true.
Yeah, take care of yourself. I guess it's what you're best at. So, and then he storms off, and I guess I guess Han wanted to leave in good terms.
Yeah, true.
So I think that was.
Well, it was good.
I think it wasn't
I
mockery
mean,
or anything.
Or maybe he was smiling because at the back of his head, he never thought he'd say those words.
That's right.
Yes.
That could be it.
Hoagies and
he's-
ancient religions are not
Or-
good
or-
against
yeah,
a good blaster.
he's realizing that, okay, there's something to this, and then
Yeah, true.
maybe, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, we're gonna go to this little topic I prepared. Like, there's
What is
no
this?
remorse for Alderaan and Obi-Wan. All right, so it's a little bit. It's kind of a nitpick with regards to the lines and the characters. So when back on their arrival in Yavin 4, you would see General Dodonna approaching Princess Leia, saying, "Oh, we heard about Alderaan," and then Leia just says, "There's no time for remorse, General." That's a whole planet that died. You lived in that planet for
It's her
almost 2
planet.
decades. It's your planet.
she sort of rules over that planet.
Yeah, you're a princess, and you can't. No, she also was a senator for the Imperial. He was part of the.
That's
She
right.
was
Okay.
part of the Imperial Senate, kind of representing those people, and just says, "There's no time for to remorse, General." I mean, I guess I know the urgency with regards to the disc being handed out, being declassified or whatever, being searching for that weakness with the Death Star. But then again, we never see how Leia coped up with the destruction of the Death Star.
I think this shows her leadership and her
Professionalism,
view
I
of
guess.
the grander scale of things that I'm sure she's like, in character she should be sad for Alderaan and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, true.
But if they don't do anything about this Death Star, then the rebellion has no hope. There is nothing they can do against this battle station, and it's going to destroy everyone in its path. Everyone
That's true.
who goes up against them says the wrong thing or just sneezes differently.
Yeah,
You may fire when ready. So that's what they're up against. So I
That's
guess
true.
that's where the urgency is coming from. So I think it's more for me. I want to respect Leia more as a general later on, and being responsible. We'll see that in Empire Strikes Back, but she just has so much on her plate and being responsible, not just now for Alderaan before, but now for like the whole rebellion, which represents a big, represents multiple systems.
yeah, true. Now we go to Obi-Wan. So in the final preparation, all right. So the final preparation for the battle. All right. I think this might be the climax, right, of the movie. Is it? Could be.
Leading up to the climax.
Yeah, leading up to the climax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Luke try. So after Han says, "May the Force be with you," and then Luke goes to Leia and like, "Hey, what's wrong?" So he says, "I wish Ben was here." So Luke was kind of sad about Ben's death, Obi-Wan's death, and then Leia was just like, she wasn't faced at all again. He did not show any remorse. I mean, it was shown that in the Kenobi series, of course, which is much more present, that they had that sort of relationship together. They have established that friendship
They went through a conflict
a lot,
together. Sorry.
a lot. Plus the excitement that Leia showed in the Death Star when she heard Luke says, "I'm with Ben Kenobi, and we're here to save
Yeah,
you."
that's right. That's right.
Like, Ben Kenobi? And then she doesn't even like flinch when Ben was like sliced into two by Darth Vader. And again mentioned by Luke, I wish Ben was here, and nothing. She wasn't faced again.
Well, I've been
Was
I've
it-
been
was
making
it-
up I've been
Yeah.
making up excuses for Leia, I guess, with Alderaan. Now I'm gonna make up an excuse for her with Obi-Wan. I guess maybe she's just like, again, women's intuition. It could be her intuition being attuned to the Force unknowingly. So maybe she knows somehow that Ben will still be there to guide them, or at least Luke. I don't know.
Maybe.
Watching it before, like, I didn't care. I didn't care, like, because when I first watched it, this was gonna be the only movie, and then it could have been the only movie. So there wasn't exactly any plans or
Yeah, true.
and then it was just gonna be 2 hours. It's not gonna be a series where you really dive deep into the emotion of Luke Skywalker or Leia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, let's get to the fight scene. Let's get to the
That's
is
true.
there gonna be another lightsaber battle? Is there gonna be what's gonna happen? Are they gonna succeed? I don't know. So yeah, it was just
All right. So,
rearing to go to the fight, the space fight again.
but then, yeah, true. I do agree. Maybe they had, maybe that's an acceptable reason for it.
I
But
don't know.
I
what's
guess,
acceptable.
I mean, I guess it was I don't know if it was a mistake in the screenwriter's part to do that, or the director, which was George. Was it George?
Yes, for A New Hope.
Yes.
Yes, it's George.
Yeah,
George
because it's
directed it.
different for episode 5. But
Yeah.
Okay, look. Okay, so it ends up their conversation ends up with Leia giving another kiss, the second kiss
Another
to Luke.
kiss.
Another kiss
2-0.
for you. Alderan Customs tells
Again,
me
so,
I should give you a kiss in droid format. Anyways,
again, we're not. Don't knock Alderaan culture. We don't know.
yeah, we
We'll
don't know.
never
Hey
know.
guys, we don't know what's accepted in their culture, but yeah,
Oh,
because
I like
we'll
them
never
Alderaan
know.
girls.
Yeah,
That's
and
why I
no,
date Alderaan girls exclusively. They like to kiss.
imagine if you have a classmate from the Imperial Academy who's from Alderaan, just gives you kiss like randomly.
I will
Hey,
hang out with her every day. Maybe not the guys. Maybe avoid the guys, and then
Avoid the
Be
guys.
with I'll just be with the girls.
Yeah. What if it's the same for the guys as well? Gives you a peck, yeah, a kiss in the cheek.
I'd rather not, but other people enjoy it, it's fine with me. Not for me though. Not for me.
Move along. Move along. All right.
Thank you.
So we move along to Biggs and Luke's reunion, which was added, I believe.
Yeah, I remember a version of the movie with not being that Biggs not seeing Luke until communicating in the X-wings already,
Yeah.
in space. Yeah, so that was added. I liked it. I liked the addition. It's kind of weird though that the red leader was there and just asking, so are you any good? And then Big says, yeah, he's good. He's like the best.
There's bush pilot in the Outer Rim territories.
He's the best pilot in our county. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! The Hilly Biggs.
And then he just goes, okay, that's good enough for me. Okay.
Actually, there's an extended scene with Garvin Drace, which was Red Leader. He says the same thing. So, are you sure you can handle this thing? And it says Biggs goes through the line. He's best push pilot in the Outer Rim territories, and then I don't know if it just went to his head or he remembered. He said a line which blew my mind. He said a line that blew my mind. He says, I actually knew your father. He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, something like that. It was the best pilot I've ever seen in my whole life. Which was
Did
weird.
they cut that out? Is that cut?
Yeah,
that
they
cut
did.
out, or
Yeah,
is there a version where they released it that was in, or
it was a deleted scene.
oh, was a deleted scene? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it could. It's a possibility that it's not canon.
Yeah, it's not canon. If it's deleted, it's
canon.
not canon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was kind of weird to like, think about that Red Leader knew Anakin. I don't know, man.
Is it weird? Why is that weird?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's just like the character hasn't been established yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and like
No, but I mean,
and like
timeline wise, it would be okay for Red Leader to actually.
yeah,
have
actually,
something. Okay.
yeah, timeline wise, but he could have been when he went probably when he saw Anakin, he was like very very young,
Oh, okay.
like maybe 18, 19, 20,
But
like
he
a
was
young
starting
pilot.
out like Luke. Okay.
Yeah, probably. So hence he remembered his father. But okay, so Biggs and Luke reunite, and it was kind of sad. Like, all right, we'll exchange stories after the fight, and then all right, we'll talk about that in a future episode. But that's the exchange between the best friends Biggs and Luke. Next up is Luke tries to get up his X-wing, and then while R2D2 was getting placed to be his co-pilot. Actually, astromechs are co-pilots for X-wings. They co-pilot, yeah. So he says this line, that little droid and I have been through a lot together.
Ooh, wow, history, really? Wow.
Yeah, really. It's been like what, a week, 2 weeks? I don't know, man.
Yeah. How long you been together? Not as long as Anakin and Obi-Wan, I guess.
Yeah. True. But it was kind of nice, And did you ever like think about if R2D2 knew who Luke's father was, or Luke's mother was?
No. Well,
He was there
you
in Paulus Massa when they were born, though.
kind of wonder the whole trilogy. After watching the prequels and everything else, you start wondering whether C-3PO and R2 still have those memories in them. I think in canon they do, I think, but they're not like in the surface. Is that am I saying that right? Is that, or am I just
What do you mean in the
spewing out
surface?
garbage? Like what I mean is it's there in their memory banks. It's inside them, like
Oh
latent.
no, C-3PO. I know that he doesn't. His memory got wiped.
He got his memory wiped, but R2
Except for
does,
R2, I
right?
think. No,
Okay.
yeah,
So, but
R2 still has those memories.
watching it, you kind of just accept that they know what they know right then, right there, and
True.
they haven't been anywhere else other than the diplomatic ship with Leia, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder how people understand astromechs without like any device for translation, or like any protocol droids translating for them.
I think not everyone understands them. Luke has that translator on the X-wing, right? Like he has.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Subtitles on. He has the subtitles on when he's on the X-wing.
But then again, when he said that little droid and I have been through a lot together, and then R2 responds, and then he responds like, "Huh? How do you understand him? Like without the translator?" Like,
I think he
I
was
don't
showing
know,
off to
man.
the other guys. I think
Probably.
Yeah, we went through a lot together. Yeah, that's
Right,
right,
R2?
R2. You rascal, you.
And the artist says, "Yeah, right. You got hooked into that trap I laid with a porn, and you removed my restraining bolt. You weak-minded fool." Imagine if R2 was actually evil.
Jedi droid mind trick.
Anyways, so they get up. It was a good sequence. Have you seen the edited version where it's a very long sequence? They were like preparing. Everyone was like, the rebels was doing this, and then they were
Oh yeah, there were like multiple pilots.
multiple pilots putting on their helmets.
The version I saw, it was just after that they took off and then they were gone. Yeah.
And then so Obi-Wan tries to communicate with Luke, saying, "May the Force be with you." Did he say always?
No, he didn't say always.
No.
He just said,
All right.
May
May the Force be with you.
Oh no. He said, "The Force will be with you," is what he said.
Yeah, all right. So,
Is that right?
based on the reaction of
Yes, right.
Luke, was he trying to ignore Obi-Wan's voice? Did he find himself crazy hearing a dead man's voice? Because Obi-Wan did not mention that he could actually talk to Luke even in the afterlife.
That's right.
With the short,
yeah.
short time they spent together. Did you think he was trying to ignore it? Maybe he's just like grabbing some sanity because he needs to be focused before the battle.
I think that he was still figuring out if he was just imagining it or if it was really,
probably.
or
If it was
'cause
actually
he's
Obi-Wan.
not used to tuning into the Force that much.
Oh, yeah,
So I
definitely,
think
he's
it's
not.
more like, is this real? It's probably real. Like, or he doesn't know whether it's harmful or what, or is he being
Yeah, true.
possessed or whatever. He doesn't know. So I think he's just trying to come to grips to it, and then we'll see in our next episode. We'll see how he uses that as well.
That's true. That's true. So again, that's pretty much it for episode 10. We only have a few episodes left, I think, because we're almost at the big battle, and then the ending scene. So make sure that you hit that notification bell, guys, because there's only a few episodes left of this season. You can also catch us in Spotify, all right, and other platforms. Follow us on TikTok at Trooper Archives, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and subscribe, because good soldiers follow orders. All right, I am Gabe.
And this has been Ace. Trooper Archives. Keep shooting those Womp Rat kids.
Move along.